Welcome to White Line Fever Kicks, episode 58. It's World Cup Nomad. That Nomad is me. And it is day 4 of the World Cup. Day 4. And I'm just walking back across this, the Steve Prescott Bridge, which is lit up in rainbow colours. I'm the only person within Kui. And I've just seen a magnificent match between Tonga and Papua New Guinea. One with a Kolomatangi try in the 78th minute, which has led to a 24-18 scoreline, full-time scoreline. And, Tonga were in all sorts of trouble. PNG were really the better side, I thought, over the 80 minutes. I counted 2 disallowed tries, but Rhys Martin, who kicked a world record 41st consecutive goal in internationals. He said that it was. He said there were 3 disallowed tries, but in any case, it was a fantastic game of rugby league, and I think it would have washed away a little bit of negativity about crowds the previous couple of days. Before I go any further, I need to remind you that I post all this stuff first on Patreon, patreon.com/WhiteLineFever. And also, if you're into your International Rugby League merch, I think I took a wrong turn there, International Rugby League merch, then you can get it at WLFmerchandise.com. And don't forget to follow my YouTube channel, youtube.com/WhiteLineFever. Now, I know that's a lot of sort of plugging, but other people will then name all their supporters and stuff like that at the start of the show, and I'm not doing that anyway, am I? So I think today's show is going to be pretty short, and I'm just going to focus on some of the good stuff from the press conference, and I'll probably have to record a few little links to introduce some of the quotes and stuff like that. But there was some great stuff. Edwin Ipape said some great stuff, and particularly the losing team, actually, Papua New Guinea, Stanley Tip, and Alex Johnston was very funny. I didn't realise he was kind of had a little bit of a stand-up comic in him. So anyway, all that was great. It was a great night. But I've got to say, the routine that I'm following, which is to go to a different hotel every single day, I have taken a wrong turn there. It is kind of I found myself sort of teetering on the edge of madness a bit today, setting off from Doncaster, where the match was last night. This is terrible. I'm in the wrong place. I'll go back. Setting off from Doncaster, where the game was last night, about midday. Had to go to Eccles to do a panel discussion in Eccles Library. And I'm just you've got to spend time in the north to understand what an absolute evil demon the M62 is. The fact that you actually can't allow an extra half hour. You can't say, I'm going to ride half an hour early to allow for traffic when embarking on a 90-minute journey. You have to, when embarking on a 90-minute journey, allow an extra hour. So I walked into the library 20 minutes late with the show underway, and it was being streamed. And it was just so frustrating. But it was afterwards, when I then tried to come here to St Helens, that I actually found myself going a bit mad, because there was another crash. There was another sort of a traffic jam on the motorway, and then I found myself getting off at junctions and getting off at the wrong exit and heading on the wrong motorway in the wrong direction, and the ETA time going up, like a kind of when you're at the petrol bowser, you're putting petrol in the car. That's what it was like with the time, the ETA going up and up and up, and I found it just so frustrating. And I've never looked forward to the end of a journey, even flying backwards and forwards to Australia. I've never looked forward to the end of a journey more than I looked forward to arriving at the hotel here in St Helens. Anyway, so I am finding I just see a rat scurrying across in front of me on this pathway. I don't even know if I'm in the right place. In all likelihood, I am not. Oh, maybe I am. Yeah, maybe I am. So what I did tonight is I actually organised to stay in the same hotel tonight, as tomorrow night, as I'm in tonight. It costs 140 quid, but I'm so happy and relieved that that's the case, and that I'm staying in the same place, and I can do washing, and I can catch up with work, including editing this podcast together. It's very dark now. I could trip over anything. I'm so happy, that there's going to be some sort of a consistency in my life for the next 2 days. I can't tell you what it's done for me. So I guess being older makes doing this sort of shit more of a challenge. You get tireder more, and the worst thing is you get flustered. And my life used to be like this when I would go to 5 games a week or whatever. That I get flustered over the smallest things and worry about losing things and stuff like that. And and I now realise that why I was like that and how I was able to stop was to not live like this anymore. So anyway, you are witnessing someone's descent into madness over the course of the next 5 weeks, or not witnessing, hearing someone's descent into madness over the next 5 weeks of this Rugby League World Cup, because this is going to be the way I'm going to live. Anyway, I'll try and introduce. I'll introduce some of the. So, the Papua New Guinea guys came in first, and Alex Johnston. I asked Alex Johnston a question, and here's how he answered it, and we'll get some more stuff from Alex Johnston. And then we'll hear a bit from, I think there's some great stuff also from Rhys Martin about, kicking. Turns out that if Papua New Guinea had have had the try allowed that was so crucially and controversially disallowed, Rhys Martin may not have been able to kick his record-breaking goal. So we'll hear from Rhys Martin talking about that, and then there's some stuff from man of the match Edwin Ipape. It was really good stuff about Papua New Guinea's theme in this tournament, which I thought were great quotes you'd kill from in the NRL, and then we'll hear at the end I think we'll hear a little bit at the end from David Fifita, who, as we all know, big superstar Gold Coast player, talking about why he decided to play for Tonga instead of Australia in this tournament. And that's it, I guess, for World Cup Nomad. Now, the way this works, by the way, before I go, just to remind you, it's every match day except Mondays, because on Mondays I do the BBC podcast and I want you to listen to that instead. However, on Mondays I'll do one of these just for patrons. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and here's some great content from after tonight's match. I'm off to have a quiet beer in the bar and live like a normal person for a couple of days. I promise, only a couple of days.
Yeah, thanks for asking me a question. Not just a pretty face, but it's a tough one, tough pill to swallow. It's a couple of times it's happened to me now personally, and it's never a great feeling. And obviously to do it in international and lose that way, Rhys touched on it. We crossed a couple of times, and we think we should have had the lead, and to lose on the bell basically, it's heartbreaking.
How does that rank as a Kumul's performance in your time in the team?
I've been a part of some great wins, but even in this loss, we came here on a mission to show that the Kumul's are rising, and even this loss, we definitely showed that, and that's definitely up there at the top for sure.
It was more the Rod's disallowed try. That was the one I was worried about, because that was right on the touchline. So it was pretty shit along. Sorry. It was the field on that touchline was really soft, and I was a bit worried about that one, but it got disallowed. So it was it was a special moment. I think this morning when I was getting my messages from my brothers, they were excited. They were getting ready, setting their alarms for the game, and my second oldest brother put up a photo of Dad in his Kumul gear, and yeah, that made me a bit emotional. But yeah, just tonight I just wanted to do my job for the team, because I don't want to be like this in front of my teammates. So it's just I've been waiting 3 years to do it again. So I'm just happy I got to pull on this jersey, and glad that we've put in a good performance. But this morning with my family, mate, it was that's what I'm doing it for, and that made me excited today.
It's been our theme for this camp, Kumuls on the Rhyse. So we wanted to show that we can compete at this level, and we're good enough to be here and to not just to make numbers, but to compete and hopefully get to some finals or playoffs and stuff like that. So that's the team, Kumuls on the Rhyse, or the Rhyse of the Kumuls.
I was going to play the mid-year test, but fortunately I done my knee, my MCL. I had a couple of chats with Wolfie, and the opportunity came at the end of the year, and had a really good chat with my father, and I really love my dad, and I think it's just the right time, for myself, and I'm a young kid and that, do it for him and do it for my family and for the boys, and I'm really close with a few of the boys in this camp, and just to do it for my grandparents and all that, make them all happy, and it was good. You got teary, when I said I'm going to play for Tonga, and I know he'll be watching. He was watching this morning, and just to do it for him and all my family back in Ipswich and that. So it's good.